Sozan Bantabatala. My name is Gogo Nomi, and today I think I just wanted us to discuss the topic of death. For one, I think I was having a session with a client today, and I actually realized, Guti, a lot of people don't know or understand the value in our lives as people, and it sparked the idea in my mind, Guti, but like, how is that possible? How is it possible, Guti? We live with people every single day of our lives, siphila nabo, labantu senza izinto nabo, but you find ukuthi umuntu on a daily basis, they actually don't feel like they are valuable or that they have a valuable contribution in our lives. And I think the reason that this topic has just been so hectic in my mind is because I was having a chat with her, but I've just been going to so many funerals. I think ever since the winter sort of months started, it's been a time where I'm literally attending one funeral after the other every single week. And we joke about it to say, oh vele ngoba isikhathi samadlozi, it means ukuthi they actually hear ukulanda abantu bayemakhazeni. I don't know if people actually know that it's a very spiritual period, winter, because it's a period where a lot of things that have to do with ancestors happen, or abantu abadala and death happen. So there is a sense that there is an exchange that happens during this period, and I think when this exchange does happen, a lot of us are not cognizant. But I think the thing that hurt me the most about one of these deaths is that the one death was a suicide. And I think, what's scary about suicide? It's the fact that most of the people that go through this are people that look like they're happy on the outside. So it's that one friend of yours who's always looking beautiful, who's always looking happy, onganama moods, and will generally be the one to treat people well, But you find, Uguti, that person has very deep-seated or deep-rooted issues that we know nothing about. And I think it's sad because you find, Guti, that someone like me, Gogo Nomi, I shouldn't actually be saying, Guti, I've lost a friend to suicide because I'm a spiritual person. And so what it means is that I'm actually there to help a lot of people elevate and to get to a completely different spiritual level. But this then got me to one person who just sent me a DM on Instagram, and they said, oh, Gogo, I'm so proud of you and I'm so happy of the work that you do, and I was hurt, and sad, and I just got back to the person and said, Guti, thank you, but my thank you was actually not for me, because I don't overthink in that way that makes me maybe get to a point where I ever need the external validation. But I think I was thanking this person on behalf of a lot of people who probably just don't get those messages on a daily basis. And I thought, I should tell this person why I'm so grateful. It's because I think we should be doing more of that. I think we are losing people in our lives more because we don't ever say to those people, Guti, yazwena, you are a good person, you are beautiful, you have a place la emhlabeni, you should be doing more of what you're doing. And the fact that maybe you're doing a good thing, you're actually growing me as a person. We sit and we judge a lot of the people around us, and we want them to meet a certain standard of being. But I think the more suicides that we continue to have, we should be recognizing, Guti, there is a gap. We are being prompted as abantu, Guti, forget the material stuff, forget ukutuba nunemoto, unani. What is it about that person that makes them a great person or a great individual, And I think this is the place at which people don't understand abogogo nabomkhulu, We look at abogogo nabomkhulu as people of resource. So, for example, I'm not a successful healer if I don't have a car, if I don't have material wealth, or if I don't have 12,000 twasas around me. I mean, in my case or in my world. But I think what it really should be or should mean to be a very successful healer or a successful spiritual person should be with or without the material things. Am I okay? Am I in a good enough place, Uguti, when I advise someone else? I've actually done certain reflections and sat with myself and recognized ukuthi what I'm saying you must heal through when you are not okay, I've healed through, you know. I've been able to get through not having a job. I've been able to get through maybe having a self-identity crisis, or I've even been able to get through other people not liking me or other people not giving me compliments, you know. And I think the closer and closer we get to that, then we've gotten to healing, you know. But if when we look at Abo Kokonabo Mkhulu, we're still stuck in a world where we think uguti material growth is what spirituality means, and I mean that not only in the African sense, then we've probably just lost the plot and we have not met them at the place where we need to meet them, you know. Because I always say to people, uguti, people have this exchange between spirituality and materialism. So I'll go on radio and people will give me comments like, yeah, but I've never seen a successful healer, you know. And I'm like, I think that is exactly the problem. I think the problem is that when we see people as successful, we measure them based on material wealth, and we measure people based on what is your currency, you know. But I think spiritual currency is different, because you should be able to walk into a room and people should literally get excited to see you, and that should tell you what your currency is light, you know. You should be able to get into a room and people should be comfortable enough to actually be able to say, Guti, yo Gogo, today like I'm not okay, or you're my friend, I'm not okay. That means that you have emotional currency, you know. You are someone that people is able to open up to and feel uguti there's a warmth to this person, and so I can open up and I can be honest, you know. And I think friendship should also be the same. We shouldn't be sitting there as friends asking people on a date or on a lunch, uguti ubhizi ngani. The real question that I should be asking you, if I feel uguti you're worth something here, is how are you and how are you really, you know. And then we can get into the nitty-gritties of, oh, last week I bought a house, last week I bought a car, or whatever. But I feel, Guti, these deaths have opened me up to the realization that we only care once a person is gone, you know. And then we only have those conversations at a funeral or a memorial service to say to someone, Guti, oh my gosh, you were such an amazing person, you were so lovely, or whatever. But then how could we then not savor you, you know? How could we not then treat you well? How could we not then compliment you in the time that you were here, you know? So for me, I'm just trying to say to someone sitting there, Wuti, you know, internal validation I think is great, right? But I'm also saying that a lot of the people around us also need external validation, you know. Mawuhleli nomuntu, even if you don't know the person, be kind enough, if you believe good you're a spiritual person, to say, oh, I love the way you dress all the time, I love your smile, I love your eyes, your aura in a room. Because at that point in time, you actually don't know how much you could be contributing or how much you could be saving that person, you know. Unkulunkulu, guys, if we want to look for him, he's in us. We shouldn't be looking for unkulunkulu like in a different place. And I'm sorry that I'm getting emotional. It's just a thing, Yoguti. Abo Gogo Nomi Mkhulu, for me, they represent that more than the exchange of the material things that I'm making examples of. And I think, Uguti, if as a spiritual person, you have not understood that, you have not met your calling, you have not gotten to a point or a place in life where you know, Uguti, what African spirituality is, you know. And I talk a lot about this to say the exchange between African spirituality and an individual needs to be love. You know, you should never feel like when unamadlozi, but you know, utando aluko, you know. And the sooner we get to understand and realize this, then concepts then like ukphahla, concepts then like uktandaza or ukulega, they become easy and fluid for us because there's a warmth to them. But because Tina, when we do izinto emhlabeni, yonke into, it's like, but nginenzele umsebenzi last week ngandihlabela imbuzi, and then all of a sudden you want to get things in the physical form. That is why when spiritual things are happening around us, even like something as death, we don't recognize that the universe is amukhuluma nathi and show us ukuthi, but you guys are not even kind, You know, you guys are not even people that when people are here appreciate those people, and so it's easy for the universe to take its people back, for example, you know. And I know that it's a very, very tough topic, but I think it's something that we all need to sit down and think about. Uguti, when we sit with the people that we say we love the most, in the time that we do have them, even if someone does something small for you, do we even say thank you? You know, because those are the things that make human beings human, you know. So concepts like Ubuntu, it's really that. It's being able to learn from each other, but in a very positive way, and be able to grow from those experiences and say, Guti, oh no, this person has contributed to my life this way or the other way. But it doesn't always have to be a material thing that we exchange with each other, you know. So I think in closing, what I really want to say to you is, Guti, you need to think about life and spirituality in a very, very broad sense. You know, the universe is saying something if you're losing a lot of people around you, and especially in the ways that those people are being lost, you know. So if the universe is prompting you to be kinder to people around you, you need to stop, really, because that's what death does. It pauses, isn't it? And ask yourself, Guti, was I kind enough to this person? Did I contribute to this person and to their growth? And listen to me when I say it does not have to be material. You know, umuntu nje ngisho kuyineighbor yakho, be able to say, Guti, as I'm proud of you, because that's really how we as African communities grow. You know, we grow because someone else is seeing something in us. It's not always that there's people that are going to encourage you. So we need to do that for each other if we want to say, Guti, oh, we are growing. And if we want to say, Guti, we understand African spirituality. Magune span, iba umuntu that can plug another person. You know, you actually don't lose a lot by you being able to give someone a job. You have no idea, Guti, that person's universe is okubonga kanjani kusasa. You know, if you know, Guti, there's an opportunity and there's enough seats at the table, open the table up. You don't have to be the only person sitting there. People buy a color with their actions and not being here presently because they are realizing, Guti, there's no space at the table for them. You know, so I think I just thought I would have this conversation because I think we're at a point in our lives where actually we're getting so much older, we're all facing different challenges, and we're all losing a lot of people, but we all don't ever stop to have the conversation as to why. And I think Gogo Nomi, they get blamed a lot for a lot of them taking those people from us sometimes and leaving us without them. But what if it's not them that is the issue? What if it's us that's the issue? And so they're just taking their people back to a place that is kinder, that is peaceful and stuff like that. And I think just lastly, for anyone who is going through a lot, you know, just know, Guti, you do have value. There is room and space for you here in society. And I think you need to find a way to understand that about yourself, you know, find ways to validate you, even when it doesn't look like things are going to go well for you, because that will also help you grow, you know. But just trust in the fact that even messages like these do come about, it does mean, Guti, there is someone out there who hears that you're not okay. So was that.